I honestly don't remember if I threw anything in his direction. I don't think I did.
Huge one-sided shoulder shrug that indicates she's not totally comfortable with her answer. It doesn't really mean it's deceptive. There are no absolutes. That means just because somebody does something, scratches their nose or bites their mouth, it doesn't mean they're being deceptive or telling the truth. It's just one of those, a cue you look for to add to a group of cues to make sure things are going in the direction you think they're going.
She does one of the best denials I've seen in forever, meaning the worst. I honestly, one shoulder rise, don't think I did.
I honestly don't remember if I threw anything in his direction. I don't think I did.
Well, that's about as far as you can go to saying I did without saying it, because we associate one shoulder, as Scott said, with not feeling certain or uncomfortable with what we're saying. And it's very pronounced in this case because she does this most of the time. I honestly, there's a qualifier, so she's distancing and qualifying at the same time, and then says, don't think I did. So she's got another cutaway. That's a long sentence. She threw a bottle, clearly. I mean, this is now starting to look like maybe Johnny Depp's telling the truth. So we just have to follow it.
This is a rare time that I will stake my reputation on this. This is deception. You don't hear me say it often. In my opinion, this is deception. This is what it looks like.
Chase, if your reputation is going down, then mine's going with you. Because I have up here, big cluster of deception. And then over here, cluster of deception. I mean, it is just a massive, massive cluster of deception going on here.
I just remember him having me by the nightgown.
The biting on one side of her mouth seems to be an adapter at that point, but it falls right in line with all the other cues that she's displaying to show she's tentative, unsure, and uncomfortable.
That biting the side of the mouth, I agree with you, is typically an adapter. It's bigger than an adapter with her here because she does it 3 times in 3 videos, and they're all pre-violence. If I am a child and I always do that and I get away with it, I'm probably going to do that the rest of my life. And that's not an acting thing. She didn't learn that somewhere, and that's part of a character she's prepared for. That's probably something as a little kid, they would get after her and she'd do, they'd think it was cute or something. Don't know. But what I will tell you is it shows up 3 times. All 3 times are pre-violence. Something that's an indicator in her case, just her case. She goes, I just remember inside of her mouth, she bites that thing. And then I'm almost certain she threw a bottle at him here, and that's what started whatever happened here.
I remember him flailing me, throwing me around. I'm flailing.
There's that word again, remember. Here it is one more time. And let's pay attention to how it's being used up to this point.
She does a tongue jut at the end of him flailing or throwing her around. I'm flailing. She does a distaste.
This is after there were some bottles broken on the floor.
After some bottles broken on the floor. Well, that sounds a lot like, yeah, that's passive voice. There's a whole bunch of broken bottles.
She's saying there's some broken bottles on the floor. Completely forgets. We'll memorize the type of wood the floors are made of in the house, the exact color and type of tiles, the table that she was thrown into, how many towels are in the dryer at that exact moment. I don't know how many details she can get except for how those bottles got broken. I think that we're skipping over some details here.
I think this is actually after, again, forgive me, I wish I could remember the sequence, but it's flashes.
She redirects again to her problems with sequence. And this is the only time we see this is when the detail needs to be inserted. It flashes, there's an eye contact flutter avoidance where the eyes are just fluttering.
He's throwing these bottles at me. I remember retreating. There were also cans, like soda cans, beer or soda cans, and they're coming at me one after the other.
I think she's obsessing with how destructive he is, and this is likely distancing language that she's the one who probably created this mess. And it looks like she's making accusations of the things that he is saying that she did. She's just redirecting every single accusation backward.
And I keep pulling myself into the bar area. There's a bar behind me in like an L shape. He's standing in the only way you can exit. So I'm kind of trapped in front of this sink, surrounded by bar on 3 sides with him in front of me ish, kind of front off to the left.
There's more illustration about the bar and where she went than there is about the violence going on. Again, if I'm going to use that many illustrators, be that illustrative of what's going on, I'm probably going to do some of the other piece.
And he's throwing these bottles one after the other, and I can feel glass breaking behind me. I remember feeling one of them go by my head really fast. I mean, a real velocity. I remember being terrified. I remember I couldn't move, I couldn't go anywhere. I eventually, he ran out of things to throw. I think that's how I moved myself towards the exit. And I believe that's most likely when we got kind of in this struggle by the bar area.
There's a bar behind me. I'm trapped. He's throwing these bottles one after the other. I remember bottle breaking, terrified, couldn't move. I believe that's when we got in the struggle. When she's saying all this detail, this added detail and pretend confusion are a very classic case that's often seen in cases of malingering and faking or pretending memories. It's right here in the textbook. And they teach this. It's well reviewed. It's peer reviewed in multiple, I'm talking more than 50 academic articles that talk about this specific behavior, and 3 or 4 more of the behaviors that she's exhibiting here in this video that directly goes into fabricating stories and fabricating a mental illness, which is what we're seeing here.
What a massively different story than Johnny Depp's. So there's nothing really that aligns about the two. Now, of course, one person could be lying and the other person could be telling the truth, okay? But they were both there at the same time, and there's zero, I would say, alignment about this story. Zero alignment, which is really odd. Huge deception. There, I'm going down with you, Chase.
Please come and join us the 7th through the 9th in Las Vegas for the Behavior Panel Live.
See you there.